Splitgate 2 has joined Fortnite and many other games by adding a Battle Royale mode. This new mode was added for the official launch of the game, and I want to have a quick talk about it and find out if it's any good. I ended up playing over a dozen games, and I'm fairly certain I've experienced all there is to do. The mode functions essentially exactly how you'd expect it to, despite a few things that we'll get into. You queue into a game from the regular menu, and a few moments later, you're selecting your loadout. As far as I can see, at least for now, there's only squads of 4, so no solos, duos, or trios. I also don't think you can party lock to a certain number, meaning that squad fill is forced to be on. Obviously, this isn't ideal, especially when you're trying to stick out in a very saturated market. Moving on past that, like I said, you get to select your loadout. This is the standard loadout selection that you have in all your other game modes. So you get your primary and secondary gun with mods, your item like a sticky grenade, and then your perks. You don't actually spawn with this loadout. I'll tell you how you actually get it later on. Once everyone has readied up, you get flown across the map where, like Apex Legends, you'll be assigned a jump leader, so you can either go with them or jump solo. The twist is, and this is where I kind of misspoke, is there isn't just a map technically. It's more like 5 smaller maps separated by a portal that forms the larger map. The maps vary by biome and design, as for example, you have an icy map while another one is a fiery map. The ship will only fly through 4 of the zones, as the 5th acts as more of a connector between the 4 maps. Once you drop down, like other battle royales, you can seek out chests to start putting together a build. There are also shops where you can buy certain items and mod your guns. Lastly, the only other real event that I saw on the map was a supply drop where you can get items of yellow variety, which I believe is the most rare, as like Apex, there are rarities assigned to each gun. From what I saw, there's white, green, blue, purple, and then gold, which is pretty standard for item rarity. In terms of loot, I believe you can find every gun in the game, as well as every item. I believe the only thing the rarity really represents is whether guns have mods or not, but it most likely also meant that the item has better stats like a fire rate or cooldown. The last element of your build is character perks, which you can find throughout the map. As far as I know, I believe you could collect all of them and just be super buffed if you wanted to. Once you put together your build, or not, honestly a lot of people just skip this step, you get to get down to the battles. The maps are riddled with places you can place portals, naturally as this is still Splitgate, and of course the combat is still really fun. The thing that really sticks out to me in this battle royale is how they manage deaths. In some games, when you die, to be revived, your team has to go to some special place and revive you. In others, you have to fight for your life. In this game, you just respawn. Well, sort of. As long as one of your teammates is alive and isn't in combat, you'll just respawn with them with the loadout you selected at the beginning of the game. I think you only get the loadout in the later game, as I had of course died early many times and would only respawn with a pistol. In all honesty, it's pretty lame compared to something like the Gulag in COD, but it works. It makes it so you pretty much always are playing rather than spectating, which is a good thing. I do sort of wish that they did something cooler to make themselves stick out more. With how the deaths work, it really does change how you play. Fights do have to be coordinated. You can't just run in, get a pick, and then try and rinse and repeat till the team's dead, since of course if you don't do it fast enough, players are just going to respawn, which increases the need for communication with your team to ensure that you're squad wiping. This does create somewhat of a problem right now, as like I said, there's no other options for solos, duos, or trios, meaning that you'll most likely be working with randoms, which as we all know can be quite the quest in and of itself. The games themselves were quite short. I think the game I won was only around 10 to 15 minutes, and this is because the zone closes pretty quick. The zone works like many other games where it damages you over time if you're inside of it, and of course you can die in it. The difference is that this zone goes map by map, so it starts in the icy area and then goes to the fiery area, for example, or it might go the opposite way. I don't believe that it would be in multiple areas at once, and I'm pretty sure you would always end up in the middle map, but I might be wrong about that. But yeah, that pretty much covers all there is to this battle royale. I did forget to mention that there is shields that function exactly the same as Apex Legends. I think the similarities with Apex Legends is the reason that people are calling this kind of Apex Temu version, which is really unfortunate. In terms of progression, it just ties in like a regular mode. It doesn't have anything unique to it, so you'll have to be satisfied with XP. Overall, I feel pretty much the same about this mode as I do the entire game. It can be fun, but it also doesn't have enough to keep me enticed. Like the base game, I didn't really find myself using or wanting to use the portals all that much. Also, in some of my games, I would get dropped frames here and there, mostly when switching between the different zones. This could be on me, but I do have a decent PC. I mean, a 3080 is still solid, right? Either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little look at Splitgate Battle Royale. If you did enjoy, a like and sub is always greatly appreciated, as it encourages me to make more videos like this one on all the new and upcoming games. Besides that, as always, take care.